Subject-specific vocabulary. Reaction rate. Reaction rate measures the speed at which a chemical reaction occurs and defined as the change in concentration of reactants or products over a specific period of time, expressed in units of molarity per second or moles per liter per second. Vmax, that is maximum velocity, measures the maximum possible rate at which a specific enzyme can catalyze a reaction, defined as the maximum rate of an enzyme-catalyzed reaction that occurs when all the active sites of the enzyme are occupied, expressed in molarity per second or millimoles per minute. Km, or Michaelis-menten constant, measures the affinity of the enzyme towards the substrate, that is, the efficiency of an enzyme, defined as the substrate concentration at which an enzyme works at half its maximum rate, expressed in molarity. In biochemistry, affinity is a measure of the strength of the attractive force between two molecules, such as receptor and its ligand, or an enzyme and its substrate. Another factor that affects enzyme reaction are enzyme inhibitors. An enzyme inhibitor is a molecule that binds to an enzyme and blocks its activity. There are two types of inhibitors, competitive and non-competitive. Competitive inhibitor has a similar shape as substrate and can compete for the active site. Blocking enzyme's active site prevents substrate binding, hence stop enzyme activity, and no product is formed. Competitive inhibition can be reversible or irreversible. If it is reversible, then effects of the inhibitor can be overcome by increasing substrate concentration. The presence of the competitive inhibitor increases Km values. Enzyme affinity for the substrate decreases. But Vmax remains unchanged as sufficient substrate can overcome the inhibitory effect by outcompeting it for the active site. Non-competitive inhibitor binds enzyme at allosteric site, another part of the enzyme not active site. The binding of the inhibitor to the allosteric site causes a conformational change to the active site, so it's no longer compatible with substrate. The presence of the non-competitive inhibitor decreases Vmax, or the enzyme catalyzed reaction, because the inhibitor reduces the total number of active enzyme molecules available to catalyze the reaction. However, Km value remains unchanged. Increasing the concentration of the substrate does not reduce the degree of inhibition.